Welcome to the Kind K Show. Here's what we speak up on. We back y'all with Wealth Wednesdays. We're gonna help a few people out there today. If y'all pay attention, we'll be back after short intermission.
In order to have anything in this world, you must speak up on it. In order to have anything in this world, you must speak up on it.
Oh, that your virtue and Versace, she don't want it. She like it hot just like a coffee in the morning. Said if you want it, then you gotta speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. 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 Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you gotta speak up.
All right, we back. Wealth Wednesdays. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
All
What's
good,
going on?
brother.
What's going on?
All good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What we got new going on today, T-Hemp?
A little quiet today. I did want to bring up though. You can't mess with God's real children, and I put an emphasis on the word real because there's some people in our government who fake like they part of God's will and God's word, but they really aren't. So remember our post I talked about the Chicago Bulls uh, cut that kid Jay Ivey for comments he made. Well, guess what? The Bulls GM and VP just got fired. So don't mess with God's children when they trying to do God's work. So.
He was just speaking his truth. That's all it was. You
Just
know,
Right.
speaking
they
God's
ain't like
word.
they ain't like him speaking his truth, brother. You know,
Right.
but like I said, uh, he ain't the only one without a job. So there
They,
you go.
he look at them and say, "Y'all just be now. Y'all behind me in the unemployment line."
You know what I mean? Let's see who you pick you. Let's see who pick you up in the G leagues. Shit, you know
Right.
what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
That's how they
There was
doing.
another story that came out, and I'll just say it's allegedly. I don't want to fully confirm it yet. So we talked about how our president got involved with the NCAA with the new rules and everything, and they're talking now. Him and the NCAA board of directors are in talk to eliminate the transfer portal starting in 2029. So they're saying that players are going to have to sign contracts with colleges at a minimum of 2 years, with trades and free agency being the only way to change teams. So remember I brought that trade shit up like a long time ago just
Yeah.
as a
Come on.
joke.
That's yeah.
But,
That.
but you brought it up as a joke, but realistically, it's the only way you're going to make stuff make sense. You're going to have to treat it like a professional sport because they're getting paid now. And without that, like you just have this whole mercenary ass league where everybody just pick up and go wherever they want to whenever they want to. You know what I mean? Even though they
Right.
narrowed it down a little bit this year with one uh, transport portal, still
Yeah.
they still had the options to play for multiple teams. You should they
Right.
still I think they should have always kept that rule in. If you switch teams, you got to sit out a year. Right. You know what I
Oh, that
mean?
would stop all that bullshit.
Right.
It would
That
definitely stop it. You know what I mean? Because what is it to and man, for a coach, man, it has to be a damn nightmare. Every year you got to recruit your new players and recruit your team all over again.
right.
That's just too much, dog. Anybody keep that's too much goddamn work. I mean, shit. I know they get paid a lot, but that's you know, if a guy don't feel like he start playing enough or whatever, he just pick up and leave. Now
Yeah.
your depth is off because if this player in front of him get hurt, now you essentially you going to the third string guy that was there because the second string guy left out. You know, so
And we talked about how these kids are transferring and they're getting more money here. They're almost college basketball when the final buzzer sounded on the championship game. 2,900 athletes entered the portal.
damn.
You're not telling me that all 2,900 of those kids are worth any kind of money.
They're not.
So for those that are if you only average, if you were on a team and you only average 6 points a game, or you didn't get to play because you were coming off a major injury, I mean, you might as well keep your ass where you at and just work hard to get better. It has nothing to do with NIL money. You just transferring just to be transferring. Um, and the Texas girls, they just lost another player. They've lost 4 or 5 girls since making it to the damn Final Four.
See, what we have to understand is we're thinking that we're thinking logically, right? And we're thinking as if these kids and their parents weren't doing this at the level.
Right, right, right.
We talk about that all the time.
'Cause they do it
how
in
these
football.
kids bounce around
Yeah.
and go to team and do all of that. This is what they know to do when they're not satisfied. They you know they go from traveling team to traveling team, basketball, baseball, all of that. They move around. That's what these kids know to do. So so us getting disgusted with them when they do it in college, we the one that need to adapt. That's what they do.
Yeah, there ain't no loyalty to nothing no more. It's just to yourself.
No,
You know what I mean? It's
no,
like, and football, it was that camaraderie type of sport where you built a bond with your brothers no matter what. You know what I mean?
right,
These was the guys
right.
you was gonna go into war with, essentially. Had a hypothetical speaking, but you was gonna get down and get dirty with them, and you was gonna ride with them, and you was gonna ride with them for 3 to 4 years, however long you were there, and then you was gonna be
Yeah,
out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You know.
These guys will have no lifelong friendships from their college days. They're not. I mean, it might be one or two people that they lock on to at a school.
But not the whole
You know
squad.
what I mean? But you're not in that meeting room with dudes for 3 and 4 years. In that receiver room or that running back room. You ain't in there with them through through everything. Like getting to know their parents because they took you home for spring break or you or vice versa. Those types of relationships are not going to happen anymore.
No.
And that is the it's the breakdown of the village. Let's just call it all of
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, when you
But
leave high school, you in the job, you in the workspace.
yeah, you
You know what I mean?
work for it.
Yeah.
And you know what? With us talk, let me say this about them talking about you won't be able to leave unless trade or free agency or whatever. Listen, Kai, me and you we need to start looking up right now NBA and NFL laws because these kids gonna need to unionize.
Oh yeah, there ain't no question about that. We've been trying to do. They've been trying to do that in boxing for years. It ain't happened yet.
Leaders, and I ain't got no problem jumping on that union board. I
You know
ain't
what
got
I'm
no
saying?
problem being a union rep for these kids. Uh, I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna be because it's gonna be real because you, you can't just have it to where you can just trade a kid when you feel like it, and they got nobody to back them and all of that stuff. No, with them, even with them, we said it before. Even with them starting to get paid, they was gonna have to unionize at some point. So it's coming, it's coming. Especially if the tangerine terrorists get his way with this. We're gonna have because it's either they're gonna unionize or there's gonna be lawsuits flying everywhere. You can't just trade me, and then you're gonna have and they said contracts. Who's going over the contracts for these kids?
Right.
You know,
Right.
they're gonna have to unionize and
The agents that they already got gonna have to be the
right,
ones to do it.
right. The three of us right here, we can be regional reps across the board.
You
Take
know
your
what I mean?
region.
I don't have no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. Yeah, you know what I
I'm
mean?
telling
So
you,
I
us
like.
three right here.
Hey, look, when I was a steward at my job, shit, hey, it was my meeting, and supervisor, I loved it too because it was my time, and you had to do with everything whatever I had to say, you had to sit there and
Right.
listen to it, brother. You know what I'm
Sit down and
saying? Yeah, you had to sit and listen to it whether you liked it or not. And I made it
listen.
uncomfortable for them to whereas they get to talking to other ones and they was like, man, you don't want to go in that meeting with him, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
You don't go in the meeting with him, dog.
one of the things that this group of collegiate professionals, Nick Saban, who was on there, most of those guys that were on that committee are Trump supporters anyway. But I think everyone forgot that Trump is the one that fucked up the USFL back in the 80s. So this he done been bankrupt a million times. He fucked up the USFL by trying. He fucked up the USFL by trying to play football, by trying to get the owners to move the USFL league to play on the same weekend as the NFL.
Yeah, same day. He was trying to compete on Sunday.
Yeah, trying to compete on their Sundays instead of the spring. They was doing great in the spring.
Yeah.
So you watch. Be careful on what you ask for. And this at the end of the day, when is a nigga going to class? It's college, right? You going to college to get a degree, right? How are you getting a degree if you're getting traded? How are you getting a degree if you keep getting transfer? If you transfer from here to there, the colleges are giving you a scholarship, right?
Yeah.
To go to school there for a higher education, and nobody is taking advantage of that higher education.
What's missing on this is what's getting lost is that when you go from one school to the next, some schools don't accept some of your classes. Yeah.
Right.
I never understood that shit to begin. And just like when you go to JC, when you go to a 4 year, some schools don't accept some of them classes you took. So you have to take those classes, same class,
Yep.
all over again, because you're in a different region. It's just some bullshit. That's just crazy. I never understood. Like, look here. It said English 101. Now it's over here. What's this called? English 101. Well, why doesn't it transfer? You know what I'm saying? It won't like it had a different name. You know?
Yeah.
Some bullshit.
Yeah.
Bro. That's some bullshit. I think that's just a way for them to make more money off our ass shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, you ain't paying for it anyway. You got a scholarship. Shit, my time is paying for it. Shit, I had to take the same class over again. That was some bullshit. Especially when we go from the west to the south.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah. All right, man. We're going to do this.
Real quick, the Tennessee Lady Vols still only have one player on the.
Hey, wait. Hey, do we know the name of that last soldier?
She left too. Okay,
She left. They have zero as of
now,
yesterday.
so.
Oh, she said, "Fuck that. You ain't gonna leave here."
Yeah, y'all leave me behind. I'm out too.
Hey,
You
the
ain't gonna
funny
leave
thing,
me here by myself.
the funny thing is, again, that coach, and she was the one that did the rant when they got beat by 40 to South Carolina, and talked about her team quitting on her. But they fired the assistant coach, who just happened to be a black man. He got fired, and she's still head coach. So you helped me make sense.
Could you ever imagine that would happen at a Power 4 school like that?
No, that's crazy.
That's crazy, though. That's crazy. But hey, they're gonna have to figure it. They're gonna have to figure it out. Maybe they have to go to some of them little lower level schools and pick get some of them kids to come and play for them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Tough. And today, Dodger legend Davy Lopes passed away.
Pop-up slide.
Second baseman on our championship '70s teams, and
Davy Lopes.
Technically, he didn't win nothing in the seventh.
Rest in peace.
You say he technically didn't win nothing?
Yeah.
See him said technically he didn't win nothing?
He didn't win shit.
He didn't win shit. Okay. All right.
Rest in peace, Davy Lopes, and condolences to his family.
He might have won one when he went to Oakland and played with the A's in the '80s. I mean, in the '90s.
All right, man. Here we go. Wealth Wednesdays, man. Here we go.
Nobody on that Dodger team won shit with the Dodgers.
Hey, this is the portion of the show where we help people. We ask you to help us help you. You know what I mean? That's how it go. Man, I was trying to pull up my stuff, and for some reason I can't pick it up on my email. I was trying to pull up what I wanted to talk to them about today was the first portions starting to get your credit if you want to repair your credit yourself, right?
Okay.
And I wish I could have pulled up the damn thing. I was trying to pull it up and couldn't get it up. But anyways, it's just and you want to, like I tell people all the time, do not type uh, think your letters um, to the bureau, right? You don't want to do
Uh-huh.
that. You want to handwrite the shit, because they got a thing called eOscar, and it's the computer. So when you send your letters in, all they do is put it in, they just the same response most of the time. You know what I mean? Where if they was going to they just deny you, and
So,
they
so
got so many people sending in shit all the time, so they don't actually read it. You know what I mean?
you handwrite it,
The-
they gotta actually pull it out the
yeah,
envelope and read it
right.
and all.
Well, they actually, yeah, they have, when they pull out the envelope, they're gonna have to actually read it, especially if you
They
write it in
gotta
cursive. The goddamn
know what.
computer ain't gonna read no cursive. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So
Okay.
that's the one little trick in there. But the first thing you want to do is get your personal information straight. That's the first thing. You'd be surprised. You probably get about an extra 20 to 30, maybe even 35 points extra going towards that 550. Because a lot of people, when they go out and apply for stuff, sometimes they use their middle name as their first name, or they put their
Hmm.
middle initial in when they apply for stuff, right? Or they use a different first name, or sometimes even a different last name, but you're using the same social security number, right?
Got,
And so it's
gotcha.
all being every time you do that and use a different name when you apply for something, that gets that gets attached to your file
Yeah.
every single time. So what you want to do is you want to clear all that shit up and just have it what your name is or how you're going to be from here on out. Every time you apply for something, and don't always uh, and don't if you don't put your middle name in initially on
Don't
one,
do
don't do it for the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep that file as clean as possible, as small as possible, and even like when you change jobs, those jobs every time if you like a nomad in jobs, you're hopping from one place to another. You
do
every
the
time
same.
you go, it's the same thing. You want to clear all that up, and you want to have whatever job that is that you've been on the longest with the most with the you have the most consistency time in. You want to
Mm,
leave that job there. Phone number, same thing. Wherever where you reside, right? Same thing where you
right.
live. You don't want to have 4 or 5 different addresses on there. You don't want to do all that. Clean all that stuff. And as simple as just telling them and letting them know in cursive, right? When you put your name, you got the bureau's name that you wrote to, whether it's
Right.
Equifax, TransUnion, or Experian. You put your name, your birth date, you dressing whoever that is, you dressing to them, and then you put your address on that form, right? And then
Okay.
you also have to send in a copy of your license and your social security. You have to have 2 forms of identification. It could be a bill with your name
Mm,
on it, a water bill, gas bill, whatever, with your address on it, and hopefully your license has the same address on it as well, right, where you reside. If not,
right.
you need to
Right.
go get your license and put your address on there, especially if you've been there and you don't plan on moving for some time, right? A lot of people like to use their mama's address. I get it. You got your mama's address on stuff.
Permanent
Yeah,
address.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and if you do that and you want to use that, then don't send a bill in, right? You want to use
Right.
just you want to use your social security number. That's a form of ID too, right? So all you do is print it out and send it in. You don't have to send the original in, just a copy of that, and just simply tell them to say this is if you didn't have it correct on my file, this is how I want to be listed on my file, and they'll make all the necessary corrections, and that'll clear up. And sometimes your score will go up. You know what I mean? For most of the time, if you don't have all that junk on there, right? You want to make it
Right.
clean and crisp as possible, right? So that's the first rule of when you want to start doing your credit yourself. So try that and see let's see how it works, and then we'll talk about it when we start our members only show. When you guys start subscribing to our members only channel, and we'll get it more in depth than that. Like I said, I'm gonna give you the gist of and the basis of things that you can do if you want to do it
Yep.
yourself, and then we'll roll from there. And we'll roll from there. All right. Now we were talking about IBC last week, right, D Mac?
Yeah. Yeah. We are talking about the infinite banking concept a little
Okay.
bit. We talked about the IUL a
Mhm.
little bit. Um, I did more research. I knew a little bit about the infinite banking, but I was really trying to dive in over the week, since last week, to be able to explain a little better. But the I think the photos of what I sent you,
I got
you
'em.
know, kind of break it down. But I'm gonna start this off by saying this. I've been um, I've been selling the IUL since 2006, so 20
Okay.
years now. Um, and I was reading in depth how the infinite banking structure is and how it works, and all of those things. And I'm gonna just give my straight up opinion
Mm-hmm.
is the infinite banking structure is the fucking IUL.
Mm-hmm.
It is. But
And yeah, and for
they
most part it is,
are
but how you I think it's
it
something a little different. What's the difference about it though?
it's a little it's a nuance there are some nuances that are a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do the same things with an IUL that you do with infinite banking.
Mm-hmm.
The way that the difference that they sell the infinite banking to you as a selling point is that your 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 cash values are guaranteed and things like
Yeah,
that.
and that's what I
Um,
yeah, that's what it was.
and that's the biggest thing. And I'm not saying that it's
Mm-hmm.
right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just saying that they're really not telling you guys anything new. They just put the whole life policy onto it. Now, I also looked up, so with the infinite banking, you use the whole life policy. Okay.
That's
And
right.
that's because it has those cash value guarantees and whatnot. But I also looked it up and asked the question of, could you do infinite banking with your IUL?
Mm-hmm.
And it said absolutely yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the cons in that are the same as the cons with the whole life. You listen, people. Uh, when you're using these vehicles uh, to make money, invest money, and move stuff around and all that, it is your responsibility to pay attention. It's not the company's. The company is looking at it as a whole life or index universal life policy. It's just insurance to them.
Mm-hmm.
How you use it, how you use it is totally up to you, and how you use your cash value and stuff. All of that stuff is up to you. They're not going to monitor. Oh, this is a infinite banking one. We need to stay on top of this for them. They're not doing that for you.
Right.
Please understand that.
Right.
All they want is your premiums every month, whatever that's gonna be, and then you can play around with your cash value in any which way you feel like it. But I think one of the biggest
What about the compound interest?
mistakes.
Isn't it compound interest associated with when you're using the mutual whole life insurance policies versus, does the
Yes,
IUL give you compound interest as well?
it does. They
Okay.
both do.
Okay. All right.
They both do. Like I said, I think the biggest difference in using the whole life with it is the guarantee on the
Cash value.
on your cash value, which
Gotcha.
the IUL uh, they have their guarantees in it too, but it's a little more risky. Okay,
I got you. I
um,
got you. Okay.
it's a little more risky. But and I'm not saying don't use look infinite banking. If the financial folks are saying use the whole life, then use the whole life. If it's that's going to work better for you. But the concepts are really the same.
Okay.
You're putting money into an insurance policy, and you're doing what's called overfunding the policy.
That's right.
Okay. What I mean by overfunding the policy is this. Let's say you had $100,000 policy, and um, the insurance carrier says, okay, it costs $100 to get for you to have $100,000 policy, right? To overfund it would be any dollar amount you want to put in over $100. So you might say, okay, well, I'm gonna do 150. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
100 goes to the insurance, to your cash value, and then that $50 comp gains compound interest over the lifetime, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and that's how you build cash value in all of the permanent policies. That's how you build cash value. Um, in a term policy, like we said, if they say it's $100 for 100,000, you just pay that $100 because there is no overfunding in cash value.
Okay.
So over time, when you're overfunding a policy, that cash is building, it's building, it's building, it's building, it's building. And at a certain point, and this is what they don't really say to you in either one of those policies, right? When they're selling them to you, you're you can't touch that money for a while. That cash value has to build, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you you going you going in, and let's keep the same scenario. You putting in $150 instead of 100, and then after a year, you know, okay, you got $500, $600 in there, right?
Right.
You can't go grab that right away because it's not a bank account, right? And I know they calling this infinite banking, and with that, you can touch some of it, but you can't really touch all of it because they want you to still have some cash value left, and there's reasons for that, you know, because like if you in these policies, if you miss a payment, you can pay that premium from your cash value
Mm-hmm.
instead of it lapsing right away.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if I miss 100, if I miss $100 payment and I got $800 of cash value, they will pay your company will pay your premium from your cash value. It'll lessen your cash value, but you'll be able to keep your policy, right?
Okay.
So when it's time to start using your infinite banking money for whatever it is that you want to use it for, you're going to have to make that call to the carrier and say how much is available. And that's going to be huge, right?
Right.
Because you can't just go and say, "Hey, I got a $100,000 policy. I want 10 grand." Mm, that ain't gonna slide,
Gotcha.
right? You have to, you got to know the ins and outs and how much. Because I know they painting this picture like, oh, you can just borrow against your money and start doing all these things, buy a house, buy this or buy that. Uh, Yeah, to a point. You got to
Mm-hmm.
have a certain amount, take out a certain amount.
Right. Right.
So
So and that's kind of how
do
they
a
break it up when they break it up 80-20, 60-40, whatever, right?
exact
And then the MEC-V
exactly.
comes in place too because the IRS recommends that uh, that's in place too. As far as
Yes.
okay, all right,
So you gotta do your homework and and ask questions. You because if you call up, you call up the agent and say, hey, I want a infinite infinite banking
structure.
whole life policy.
Mm-hmm.
They just gonna write your ass up. Okay, yeah, let's go. How much you want to put in? Blah
Yeah,
blah. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
they getting their sales commission based on your premium.
yeah, yeah,
Based on how much you're putting in.
yeah.
How you want to play with it. And that, the good ones, they're going to explain to you what infinite banking is and how
Yeah,
what you can do with it. but they're never gonna give you. They're never gonna give you exacts. They're never gonna say, "Oh, after 5 months you can pull out this much or that much."
Gotcha.
They can't. They're not gonna do that.
All right.
Not gonna do that. Don't fall into that trap.
All right.
That's all. But the infinite banking system is that's the latest and greatest, and they just came up with a good a good a good scheme, if you will, um, for the whole life policy to be relevant again, because the IUL and the Universal had taken it over.
Yeah.
So now it's relevant again through this infinite banking, and through all of them you can do those same things, you know. Um, and yeah, it is a good system for you being able to use your cash value and make it work for you. It is your money, right?
All right.
So you can go in there and make it work for you, as opposed to putting it into your bank savings account and getting no percent.
Exactly. Yeah, I was looking at the how the structure ran. Like if you had your own LLC or whatever, it was showing how you could borrow the money from your policy, your life insurance policy,
Hmm.
through your company,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And you can say like you want to go buy a car, right? You can pull
Yep.
out that amount if you have that amount much available. You can pull that amount, purchase the car. The car is fully paid for at that point. And what you do is
Right.
when you're paying back into your policy, right?
Hmm.
You're paying back into yourself. So because the interest always stays
Right.
in play, whatever
Yes.
you get you getting, if it's 6% compound interest, it's always recognizing the original number. It's not never taken away from the number. The interest is always
Correct.
applied off the whatever that is, right? And
Yes.
and so you're paying back into your company, and then it's just like a big circle, right? You're paying in this one pays into that one, and pays in that one until all this is
Yep.
paid
It's
back.
all, and it's all paying you. It's all paying you back, and
Right,
and
right.
you're paying into it. You're paying it, and it's paying you back. And it's a beautiful structure
Right.
when you do it correctly.
Correctly. Right, right. And even if you don't pay it, you say something paying it back. All they do is they deduct that portion from your death benefit, right? So
Right. So
whatever,
what?
yeah.
Yeah. So what Johnny's
So,
saying here, people, if if you got $100,000 policy and
hmm
you borrowed 10,000, and God forbid something happens to you, and you pass away,
hmm
um, at that point the entity, the insurance carrier, will take that 10,000 from your death benefit
hmm
and then give your family
that's right.
okay.
Right.
So really, and that's kind of how they sell these policies too. They say you really don't have to pay the money back. You don't,
Yeah.
but it's gonna come out of your death benefit if something happens to you.
Absolutely. But this is all could
Just
be done.
understand.
Yeah, yeah. This all could be done through your business, right? From the
Mm-hmm.
life insurance policy coming back around, through your business to whatever you purchase, back to your policy, and then it pays into the whatever portion, however you set it up, and then but you still collecting that, you still paying and getting that compound interest as well, because they're saying in life insurance policies pay better because you put that money in the bank, you're not getting no 6% compound nothing. You ain't getting nowhere close
Not,
to that, right? You ain't getting nowhere close to that type of thing. So this is essentially building your own bank system, right?
yeah,
Through your life
yeah,
insurance policy and your business, and for the future, right? So yeah,
yeah.
it's a nice
This is
little structure.
the best returns you're going to get on your money is through
Hmm.
life insurance and annuities.
Yeah, right. And if you look at banks, the financials from banks, they make most of their money through life insurance.
That's
You
right.
can pull up any bank because
That's
they're public, and you can pull them up, and you look at what they make their money off of. They make it off of
mm,
life insurance policies. That's what they make
that's
their money
right.
off of. So don't this, and so this was like this is a system that I think the brother name was Richard something. Can't think of his last name, but that came up with this system and and he was showing people how you can become your own bank, where you don't have to go and get qualified for a loan for your car.
You don't, because
You can simply use your life insurance policy to do
that's
that,
right.
right?
That's right.
Right.
Because when you call in and ask for the amount that you're okay to get, they don't ask no questions. They just cut the check.
That's right. That's right.
They just ask where can we send this. That
Hmm.
they don't ask those questions. They'll tell you, you know, okay, you can pay it back, and this is the rate, and blah blah blah. But they don't ask no what do you need it for? What none of that. It doesn't matter if it's available to you. They don't ask those questions at
Yeah,
all.
you ain't got to get qualified for nothing. You know what I mean? And to see it, and with no crazy ass interest rate, because essentially you're borrowing the money to pay whatever it is you're paying. It's paid off.
Yeah, your credit does not matter,
You're right. It does not matter in that aspect, right? And so that's
and
what
that's why people are using um, that platform, and it was good that guy came up with the system just to wake everybody up to the
Mhm.
fact that you can use your insurance for these things. Now, like I said, we've been talking about it for years with the IUL as well,
Mhm.
but with the security and the guarantees of a whole life, it's an even more solid structure for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me see. I was trying to see if I can just pull up some real fast here before we get out of here, so I can show people the little. Let's see if I can get this real quick. Let's see. Yeah, here we
But
go.
yeah, insurance is a beautiful system when you know how to do what you need to do, and really to learn that of course you can do your own research on the on the YouTubes and and online and stuff. But if your agent should be able to explain it pretty well. Yeah,
Mhm.
I saw that little ring as well, and that's a
Yeah.
good little
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
good little
because
thing.
they were showing how you could pay for your kids if your kids need a car or something, or
All of the
college.
because because there's no restrictions on what you can use that money for.
That's
It's
right.
not like 401k where you can only use it for medical or a house or things like that, or emergency stuff like that, or foreclosing a house and stuff like that. It doesn't matter what you're using the money for.
Right. So essentially, if you go from the starting point where it says you are here,
Yeah.
policy premiums and loan payments go down to your mutual company.
Yeah.
Guaranteed interest declared in dividends goes into your banking policy. Flows over for as cash for flexibility policies and loans, and then around to major expenditures and strategic investments and opportunities.
Yeah.
Cash flow from profits go back into the banking policy and back over to your benefits and for your family and right back into you. So it's an ongoing, you know, like
So
that's why they call it the infinite structure, right? Because
right.
it's
So in here, the biggest two things on here are on the far left and in the far right. The
yeah,
policy premiums, you have to make the payments.
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Now, then you go to the other end, the major expenditures and strategic investment opportunities. You have to do that legwork. You have to know what you are going to do with the money.
hmm,
Don't just pull some out and go, I'm gonna figure out what to do with the money when I get it, because you're gonna blow it before you do it.
yeah, yeah.
You
You don't. This ain't for partying and doing crazy shit. This is
have a plan
have
before
a
you pull
plan.
that money out for
That's
what you
right.
need.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's sweet. That's a sweet thing. All right, cool. All right.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
that's
D Mac. We come to that time again.
that time of the
And
day, huh?
that time of the day, man. And we gotta either teach them something or preach them something. You know what I'm saying? That's how it
so
goes.
so here's my thought of the day. The wrong key will go in the lock, but it won't open the door.
Damn.
You ever stuck a key in a lock and they all go in, but it won't
It won't
it won't turn it.
Hey
They
man,
all a house key will fit in any house in any door, but it won't turn the lock.
hey, this is the truth, man. That's some real stuff, dog. That is some real stuff right
Won't
there,
open the
man.
door.
Hey, Jay James had a question. How much for $1 million policy? What are the monthly payments? That would depend on the person that you're putting the policy on, because if they're younger,
Yes.
they don't you don't your payments are usually less than someone like my age.
Yeah.
So if you put a policy on your child that's in their 20s, right?
Depends on your age, Jay
Yeah,
James,
yeah.
and
It always depend on your age, and then that would declare what your monthly payments would be.
what you
You
can
know?
do. What you can do is take my email down off the bottom, DamonKMac@gmail.com. Send me the age and gender of the person you would like to know that amount on, and then let me know if you're looking at if you're just looking at $1 million of insurance. If you're just trying to do a term policy for 20, 25 years or whatever, or if you're looking at a universal or whole life policy where you want it to be permanent insurance. But I can give you both quotes either way. So give me the age, gender, the age and gender on the person, and I'll run you the quotes and send it back to your email.
Absolutely.
I got
And there it is again. All right,
There
man.
it
So we come to we have, hey, tell them that again one more time before we get out here, dog. I like that. Tell them that one more time, dog. Just tell them one more time.
All right. So the thought of the day is the wrong key will fit in the lock, but it won't open the door.
Damn. There it is. Kind catch.
Speak up on it, I know what I got. Speak up on it, gotta
We'll be back tomorrow on Thursday Talks, man. And Auntie probably won't be here because she it's her anniversary, but we out.
speak up.
Yep, we out here.